Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. I am here tonight live on October 16th, 2023. Welcome, welcome. If you're just joining me, go ahead and comment below your astrological sign and where you're tuning in from. This Week in Astrology, going all the way from October 16th to October 22nd, 2023, and in case you haven't noticed, there's a little bit of stuff going on right now in the astrological realm, but also aka in the world. So welcome if you're just joining me live. Go ahead and comment and like this post because that helps get the algorithm rolling. We have another busy week, but good news is this is kind of the sort of last busy week, if you will, that we are having in October of 2023. This is sort of like we kind of have been going along. There's been a lot of astrological energy in the first 2 weeks of October. We just had on Saturday that big Ring of Fire solar eclipse that happened in Libra, in case you hadn't seen that. And then, of course, Mars went into Scorpio last week. We had Black Moon Lilith was aspecting and highlighting a bunch of planets last week, Venus and Saturn specifically. My goodness, there's just been so much astrological energy. Hello, Andrea. Welcome. I was going to say, hey, Sarah, but I see you tagged her. That's awesome. Ashley, hello. Sagittarius Sun, Libra Moon. Taurus rising, also in Vermont. Andrea is an Aries. Welcome. She said the eclipse was a lot, and it was a lot of energy. I always get pressured somewhat. People will say, with an eclipse, like, is that good or bad? Is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? You know, and it's sort of something that's interesting because eclipses are just a ton of energy. The connotation, if it's good or bad, well, that comes, you know, sort of depending on your own chart, depending on your own life circumstances and all of that. And so it is just a lot of energy all in one sector. So it's something to kind of keep in mind. Hey, Wendy, welcome. Good evening, if you're allowed to say good things these days. Yes, you are. In Vermont, in Aquarius. And Tara, hello, welcome. Leo from Vermont. Debbie, yay. Aries in Florida, welcome. Yeah, we just had a lot of astrological energy going on. So how was the eclipse for you guys? You love that Scorpio moon. Yes, exactly. You were chatting with a new guy. Okay, Ashley, that's awesome. All right, so basically what was happening with that big, and we can review that just for a second because it's not in the rearview mirror just yet. See, we have to always look at eclipses as they come in a pair or a trio sometimes, okay? So this case in this month is a pair, and we are going to have a partial lunar eclipse at the end of the month on October 28th, 2023, and that will be in the sign of Taurus. So because we're going to be already getting into Scorpio season, so the sun will be in Scorpio, the moon will be in Taurus, and so that's a very big important thing, where this time the sun and the moon were both in Libra. So 21 degrees Libra was this last eclipse on October 14th, and that was on Saturday afternoon at 1:55. If you were one of those lucky people that was able to see it in the sky, that's awesome. I was not able to see it where I was. It was very cloudy, but a couple people did, so I don't know, maybe I just missed it at the right, you know, sort of time or moment. Hey, Melinda, welcome. Capricorn, Scorpio rising, Cancer moon, yes, welcome. Hey, Holly, Libra sun, how did you do with all that Libra energy that we had? Wendy said you had a great vending day on Saturday. See, some people it's really, you know, positive, and for other people it's more difficult. Just remember that eclipses are a stop and a restart. So the one planet energy cuts off. So it's kind of like, especially when we look at the eclipses, you know, a new moon usually is a positive thing. Usually a new moon is a happy time. Yay, let's manifest something new. But when we have an eclipse, it's it's stopping and then restarting. We're rebooting the computer. So there's a bump, you know, in the astrological energy. So I had a little bit of a mixture, I'll say. Mostly it was positive, but there's some stuff that's going on that's a little less than that. But I would say mostly it's positive. So it depends on how it is in your astrological chart in order to know. But I always tell people, no matter what, pay attention to what is going on around you, because that is setting us up for the next 6 months. So even though, yes, maybe the peak of it or the height of it is in the rearview mirror, it's not really astrologically in the rearview mirror, not even in the least. It's a very big, powerful thing. And then, like I said, we're going to have another eclipse. So that's what happens. We have a solar eclipse when it's a new moon, and then we have a lunar eclipse when it's a full moon. And that's coming on Saturday, October 28th in Taurus, and that's going to be 5 degrees Taurus. So it depends on where Taurus is in your astrological chart. And if you are not affected, do you know any Tauruses, or do you have other planets in Taurus in your chart? You know, Venus or Mars or Saturn or whatever. Do you have things in your chart that are Taurus? And so that could highlight that. Or the other thing is, if you know your astrological chart, and I wish I had a chart with me, but I don't. But if you have one, you can look at all of the planets and see, is there anything in 5 degrees of something, whether it's sun, moon, rising, you know, Aquarius, you know, Sagittarius, whatever. If it's 5 degrees in your chart, then it will be affected by that next upcoming full moon. So, you know, we're not done eclipses at all. And again, eclipses are very powerful. It's an ending and a new beginning, and you know, it's in and out, and so it's a lot, you know. Ashley said, where do you find the degrees? It's usually on the chart right next to the symbol. Is typically it'll say some degrees there. Oh no, Holly, you said, not great. Your eclipse wasn't great. So when I talked about that, just to review just for a second, I was talking about the new moon manifestation list. If you haven't written that yet, some people don't like to do manifesting on eclipses, because if you think about the bumpiness and the ups and downs and the, you know, the unsettled sort of energy, you can wait until the second chance new moon, which is coming on this Saturday, and that's going to be October 21st. That one's going to be in Capricorn, that second chance new moon. But, you know, you could wait to write it, or you could write it now and just not really have the peak of the new moon, like giving you that power, but we're still in between the new moon and the full moon. So at any point you could write the list technically. It's just that when we look at these optimal times, you know, we're always trying to find optimal times in astrology. And so that's basically what the deal is. Okay, so I'm going to get into this week in astrology coming up. We have a good amount of people on. Hello, everybody that have joined. Again, if you can like and share and comment, and all that interaction with the post makes it go, it's magical. It makes it go viral. Oop, my other camera was falling down. I hope that's not going to start again. And I am co-recording for YouTube, so I always post the replay, you know, afterwards on YouTube. So if you haven't liked my channel yet, please like my channel on YouTube. And for those of you who already liked it, I totally appreciate you. Okay, so let's get into this week. October 17th, tomorrow on Tuesday, we have a planet, or I should say an asteroid, moving. Okay, so Juno, the asteroid of who our ideal marriage partner is finally leaving Leo. It's been in Leo. Juno's in each sign roughly for 4 months, so it's been in Leo for a long time now, it feels like. And by the way, all the planets are kind of starting to move out of Leo now. You know, we had a bunch of cluster of like Venus in Leo, we had Mars in Leo, we had all these planets in Leo. Now we're pretty much clearing out of Leo space, and we're getting into this Virgo. We've been in Virgo, and obviously we went through Virgo season, but we still have Lilith, Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, and we have Venus in Virgo. Now Juno is going to be in Virgo, and Juno describes who our ideal marriage partner is. It's been very interesting because of Venus's retrograde cycle over the summer. If you guys remember me talking about that, Venus was retrograde. If you think about Venus's retrograde cycle, it kind of made Venus was kind of, this is Venus and this is Juno. So Venus was kind of doing this with Juno and then got ahead of Juno and then went retrograde and kind of met up again with Juno, and Juno's like, so they were kind of like traveling together. So Venus is who we like, kind of describes how we love and our sensuality and feeling romantic and all the things. And then Juno describes who our ideal marriage partner is. So this is a very similar deal. I apologize here. I got my camera starting to dip down again. I'm going to see if I can fix it. I just dropped everything. So I apologize. I'm up close, personal on the camera. So Venus and Juno are both traveling together in Virgo. So this is picky, 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 and a little bit more discerning when it comes to our marriage partner and also comes to our love life. Now, we've already had Venus. Venus is still continuing to go through Virgo and will continue all the way until November 8th, okay? Venus will be in Virgo. So if you are a Virgo, or if you know anybody who's a Virgo, or you got Virgo in your chart, because we all do somewhere, where is Virgo for you? And that's kind of the love is sort of in that area right now. Now, with Juno, who our ideal marriage partner is, well, we're looking at somebody who's a little bit in Virgo, a little bit more, meticulous, a little bit more of a perfectionist, a little bit more, and we might be looking for that partner if you're single. If you're single, you're going to be looking for that partner in a more meticulous way. But when we, it's like we got Juno going on here, and we're going to be seeing love really through that Virgo lens, particular, very detail oriented, somebody who's a little bit of a perfectionist, somebody who wants to get things right, someone who is a perfectionistic lover. Okay. That's another, Virgo sort of trait. And so with these two in the sky generally, now we all have Juno somewhere in our chart where we were born with it full time, but I'm talking about the transiting Juno, the current Juno. The current Juno is in a Mercury ruled sign, so we're going to be wanting to receive love language through words, either verbal or written. Remember, Mercury is the winged messenger. Mercury likes to talk and communicate and all that stuff. Now, again, being in Virgo, it's a little bit more analytical, but still, I mean, it's fun, that we can have that. Now, here's the thing. I hope you like that, and I hope you think that's good news, because we're going to have Juno and Virgo a long time. Okay, so usually, Juno is in each sign for roughly 4 months. Now, it's an asteroid, so all the asteroids have weird orbits a little bit. They're not like completely, round. It's like a little oblong kind of. And so it's something that we need to sort of look at in our chart and in order to know. But roughly, like I said, 4 months, it's in each astrological sign. So Juno is going to be in Virgo all the way from now, October 2023, until August of 2024. That's a long time, okay? And the reason being is because this coming year in 2024, Juno is going to be going retrograde. So I'll give you the dates, because I know a lot of people like to take notes and a lot of people like to write this down. So Juno is going to be in Virgo from October 17th, 2023, this Tuesday. And by the way, it starts at 9:28 a.m. Eastern time, so 6:28 if you're out on the West Coast. And then it's going to go all the way until August 9th of 2024. And it will be retrograde in Virgo. This whole time it's going to stay in Virgo. It'll be retrograde from January 12th of 2024 all the way until April 21st of 2024. So basically the end of winter getting into springtime, it's going to be retrograde, and we're going to be having a review. It's almost like a Venus retrograde. We'll be having a review of who we consider to be our ideal marriage partner, who we want to have as a teammate or a life partner, or it could be a business partner, I suppose, too. But usually you see Juno with a marriage partner, And when I use the word marriage, I want to say that it could be a domestic partnership. It's anybody, in other words, that's a life partner that you're doing life with, okay? because a lot of people are choosing not to get married these days, and that's okay too. But I just want to say, when I say marriage partner, that's who I'm talking about is Juno. Juno always describes somebody that we're kind of looking for. And obviously we're not going to all be looking for that same type of person while it's in Virgo, but we'll be looking through that Virgo lens, which is a little bit more discerning and a little bit more detail oriented and a little bit more all those other things. It's just that also it's a little bit more critical, because, you know, Virgo is critical, and I'm sorry to say that, you know, that's something that we have our love language. Oh no. Oh no, I just stopped the video on my other YouTube channel. Oh well, I'm going to be then taking over this, using this video. My camera kept falling down. So anyway, so when we look at someone, so if you are already in a partnership, you're already in a marriage, you already have found your beloved, okay, then you might look at them through a more critical lens. That's unfortunate part of the Virgo. You know, I nicknamed Virgo the quality control officer of the zodiac. So it is something that, you know, it can help us. It can help us, especially if those of us, you know, somebody said you brought your picker to get fixed and you hope it works correctly now. Yeah, I mean, so if you're not good at selecting and you want to really, like, you know, have somebody that is reliable and that you can count on, all that, that's definitely Virgo stuff right there, big time. Virgo is very good at the love language of service too. I know I said words because of Mercury, and that's true too, but also Virgos themselves tend to be love language of service. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to read the 5 love languages. But that's like, in other words, I do nice things for you, and therefore I will help you with this. And so that is very Juno and Virgo. So we might want to help our partner more. They might want to help us more. But again, we can't get around that, a little bit of that Virgo, you know, nitpicking, critical. And so I always tell people, if you want to have somebody change, a lot of times we criticize or we nitpick or we pick on someone to get them to change. But if you really want someone to change, compliment them, like make them build them up, tell them what they do well, and then they will want to keep doing that, not the other way around. We will avoid, you know, we all avoid people who make us feel bad. It's just human nature. If someone makes you feel bad, it's like, oh, so-and-so, I don't want to be around them. I can't do anything right. You know, if you're feeling that way around a person, you will just automatically want to stay away. Well, sometimes we do that to our partners, and we expect them to want to please us and help us. And if we just pick at them more or criticize them more or give them feedback constantly, you know, that's not going to make somebody want to be with you. So you got to build on what you got. And if it's positive, you got to just give them a lot of good positive feedback. But if you are single and looking, this could help us. Because again, it makes us a little bit more discerning. And if your picker is broken, you know, I call it the broken picker syndrome. If the picker's broken and you kind of pick people who are narcissists or liars or cheaters or whatever, and you're in this cycle, this could actually help you. Venus in Virgo will help you, and Juno in Virgo will help you. And again, they're going to both be in Virgo between now and at least until November 8th, when Venus will move out into Libra. But again, we have Juno in Virgo all the way up until next August. So we're going to have an extended stay with the Virgo cycle. Now, it depends on where Virgo is in your astrological chart in order to know how that will affect you on a personal level. So again, what house is Virgo in for you? And that can also tell you additionally how or where this will affect you as well. I know my camera's falling. My camera has fallen and can't get up. Yeah, I turned that camera off. I hit the button by accident. So I am co-recording for YouTube. I have another way of I will still be posting to YouTube. Don't worry. I have another way of doing it, but it's not optimal, but oh well. Sometimes that's what happens in life. I think I'm going to have to get a new, this is a new stand too, but I think I might have to get a new stand. So that's going to happen tomorrow on Tuesday. Venus, Juno in Virgo. And so again, where's Juno in your astrological chart? Where's Virgo in your astrological chart? And you'll know how this will affect you, hopefully. Okay, so then we have some really more stuff going on, okay, in this whole sort of thing that we've been dealing with. Tomorrow on Wednesday on the 18th, October 18th, we have the sun opposing the north node of the moon. And so this is kind of tricky because the sun has been conjunct the south node. His sun is in Libra. It's conjunct the south node, and then it's going to be opposing the north node on the 18th, and that is coming to a head. The north node of the moon is in Aries. The south node of the moon is in Libra. And oh my goodness, it is just something that is going on right now. I don't know what the deal is with the north and the south nodes, but boy, they have been so activated during all this stuff with Israel, during all this stuff with, everything that's going on, in the news. I mean, I can't even think of all the things because there's so many things going on right now. And so the sun opposing the north node of the moon and conjunct the south node of the moon means we have another past life portal. Remember, I've been saying this all along. Now, during this eclipse, the south node of the moon was very activated. Somebody's talking about my signal. Hopefully that's okay. It looks like everything's good on my end. So if you're having problems with your signal, okay, so somebody's saying that it's okay for them. So maybe it's your signal, Ashley. You might have to adjust that or something. Okay, so anyway, when it comes to the nodes of the moon, even this past solar eclipse, new moon, was conjunct the south node of the moon. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like there's this past life portal. I've been talking about this for like almost 2 weeks now, this past life, all this past life stuff. That's because the sun and the moon, Mars was conjunct the south node. We had Mars opposing the north node, conjunct the south node. We just have had so much going on. So for the next couple of days in the middle of the week, we have the sun conjunct the south node again. South node is, again, just to remind you, South node is past life. It's something in your past. It's your personal past history, or it is a past life history. They call the nodes the karmic nodes, and if you think about like all the stuff that's going on, I mean, a lot of it is like based in really old kind of grudges. Like when we talk about Israel, and I don't want to get political. I just want to say that it's been a long-standing thing. This isn't like not just like, oh, whoops, this happened. I mean, this has been going on a long time. So I don't know. It's something that we have a lot of stuff now. I've had personally, even in my life, a lot of people contacting me from my own past, which I do think those people are past life connections. So I don't know. It's just something that basically is activated, and we have that. It's just, Ashley asked a good question. So is the south node of the moon always located at the bottom of the chart, the north node at the top? No. The quick and easy answer is no. The south node of the moon and the north node of the moon are the nodes. They're astronomic points. They're not actually planets, where they're on the elliptical. I'm sorry, I can't say that. Elliptical. All right, I did mess that up a second time. I'm not going to say it again. But anyway, they always are moving. So right now they're going through Aries and Libra, okay? And so you need to know where Aries and Libra are. So the south node and the north node are basically something that, it's a thing. So they're always going, they're always rotating, they always go retrograde, they always move retrograde, okay? Oh, my first stars of the broadcast. Guess what? I brought a bell. So I'm going to bring my first bell of stars. Yay for Andrea, who sent me 100 stars. You got my beautiful little Tibetan bell here that's I use for space clearing. So thank you so much. So the eclipse, we got another star. We have a little, yay, Holly, thank you so much for another 100 stars. So thank you. So the now south node and the north node are basically how we know where the eclipses are going to be taking place. Okay, so Aries and Libra, they're all taking place there. I got another 50 stars from Wendy. Thank you so much. I love this bell. I don't know if you guys can hear the reverberation from it, but it's just beautiful. It's my favorite. I love that bell. Yeah, exactly. Wendy said you guys feuding. Oh no, you've been feuding over past events. Yeah. See, so there's some stuff. There is just some stuff going on. So it is something that we have there's a lot of karma or fate going on. So Mars was involved with the South Node. Then we have the full moon in Libra involved with the South Node. And now we have the Sun involved with the South Node. They're all highlighting this, which means it's a portal. Anytime you involve anything with South Node, and I'm going to say this, sometimes in astrology, there's this like sort of pressure to be positive. This is all positive, so wonderful and positive. And everybody wants to hear good news. I know that. I want to hear good news. But when we look at past life stuff or the karmic nodes, it just is what it is. I can't say it's positive or negative because it's going to be different for everybody. But there is something going on. And I have seen sometimes these karmic nodes getting highlighted that really produce some very negative things. And I'm not saying karmically people deserve whatever and this and that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about there's forces at hand here that are more powerful than what we realize. And again, in our personal lives, maybe everything's cool, Yeah, is it a portal you can heal? Yeah, sure. Of course. Anytime something from the past comes up, you got to heal that. That's something that's coming up like, hey, oh, hi, there you are, I mean, sometimes that is a thing. But, and I also do think, and this is going to get a little bit mind-bending, but hang in there with me. Sometimes I do think, like, time is kind of not what we think it is. I've wondered, like, are there alternate realities? Are there alternate dimensions? Did these things already happen? Are we pulling in something from our future instead of our past? Like, who knows, So that can be very mind-bending when you think about it. But whenever we contact with the nodes of the moon, and we can't just look at one. We always have to look at both. North node, south node. North node, think about north, where you want to go, where you're headed. South node, where you came from, okay? I always say North Star. Think of the North Star. That's like, that's how I remember the North node of the moon, which is which, That was my old cheat sheet, if you will. And north is where you're headed. South is where you're coming from. I just think either way, though, you can't look at them one versus the other. You have to look at them in tandem because literally that's what the deal is with them. They are always intertwined with each other, north and south nodes. So again, where's Aries in your chart? Where's Libra in your chart? And you'll know how that's going to affect you. But the sun right now is going to be conjunct the south node and then opposing the north node. So what does that mean also? Well, a lot of this stuff is stuck in the past, and it's almost, I don't want to say, I'm not sure what word to use. I'm going to use this word, but I might use a different word in a minute. It's like almost blocking us from going into the future until we deal with this stuff now. It's almost like we have to clear the plate, clear the table, clear everything, okay? And then so we can then go forward, but we can't go forward yet until we like deal with all this old crap in the background. It's like not fun. It's almost like, is it almost like a little bit Mercury retrograde-ish? Kind of it is a little bit. And so it's something that we are kind of going through, and we have to go through it. It's not like we can go around it. A lot of people say, when is this going to end? Where's this going to end? It just ends, listen, we can't just la 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 la, because then we are not learning anything. Andrea said, are we healing from our past? Yeah, we need to learn something here. Something is being brought up so we can learn from it. Either heal it, let it go, say, oops, that was a mistake, or whatever it is, but we have to be able to get, through it, not around it, not over it, not under it, through it, and deal with whatever comes up. It's like, everyone once in a very, 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 very rare moment, I will have a client that comes to me and says, when is that over? Whatever I'm talking about with them in a personalized session. And I'll give them the date. I'll say, okay, well, next year, whatever. And they'll just put it, they'll go la 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 la, and they won't deal with it. And what I always see with those clients is it's like a giant mountain falls down on them, and they like didn't do their homework, they didn't learn their lesson, they didn't like put themselves in the school of life, and they tried to just ignore. And then there's this big giant pile of rubble that they got to deal with. And you guys gotta just be in it and do your homework. And so that is what is happening. So we have another past life portal this week. So again, we had for the last 2 weeks, and it's now week 3 of past life portal stuff. And I have noticed when there's past life portal, there's just stuff that happens. There is a bunch of shenanigans that come up, and we have to deal with it. And maybe it's related to your personal past, and maybe it's even related to a past life. Now, I had somebody last week, oh, that's cool. Ashley Jean said her partner and you have the same nodes. That's really awesome. Yeah, exes can come up, whatever it is with a person, place, or thing. There could be having a past life connection with that, in these last 2 or 3 weeks. And so if something comes up for you around this time, it's good to look at that and say, okay, is that something that I need to heal? Maybe it's from my childhood. And if you really, truly, you dig and dig and dig in your recesses of your brain, you can't find any reason why that would be affecting you or why that would happen. It might even be before them. It might even be before this lifetime. And that is often the case because we do think about stuff, and we have stuff that comes to us, not just from this life, but also from another life. And so it is something that we have to keep in mind. Holly said you've been thinking about childhood. Oh no, Rosalind, oh my God. Your brother breathed his last breath today. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, if everybody wants to give Rosalind some love, looks like her brother passed away. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Suzanne Summers, passed away. We've had some people exiting, for sure during this past life portal stuff. Sometimes that's what happens too. Eclipses also are for sure a time when sometimes souls come in and souls leave. Okay. So sometimes they will, it's an exchange system, they'll come in as well. So it is something anyway that is the deal. And that is happening this week. The sun is going to be opposing south node, the opposing north node, tomorrow at 7:21 a.m. and conjunct the south node. So we're in it, in Libra and Aries. Now we also, just to continue that conversation, Mercury is also involved with this. So right now what's happening is the sun and Mercury are traveling together like this. They're both in Libra and they're together. They're going to be forming an exact conjunction on Friday, and that is at 1:38 a.m. Eastern time on Friday, October 20th. So the late night of the 19th if you're out on the West Coast. But basically Mercury and the sun are together. Now, what that means, Mercury basically is going to be overtaking the sun and moving in front of the sun, or it looks like that from where we are in our vantage point. This is where I always say we're now completely out of the Mercury retrograde sort of lens, and we are completely like this. Mercury is moving very quickly, because if you remember, always halfway during Mercury retrograde, Mercury falls behind the sun. And so after it's over and it's had a little while and it's out of the shadow and it's out of all that, it catches up to the sun, and then it overtakes the sun. So the day that happens is called a new Mercury. Okay, and that's basically what the deal is. So that's coming on Friday. And what it means is it's like Mercury is now moving faster, our communication's moving faster, all of this is in Libra. So basically what's happening is, since they're together, not only is the sun opposing the north node and conjunct the south node. Now we have Mercury opposing the north node and conjunct the south node. So, I mean, this is a lot. So, and again, if you guys have an interest in the nodes of the moon, go onto my YouTube channel under videos, and there's a playlist, and it'll say there's a video, you're gonna have to hunt for it, but I did a whole video about the nodes of the moon, and you might, if you want to take a more deep dive on what that means, Aries, Libra, because they're in Aries and Libra for about a total of 18 months. So you might want to kind of read up on that, but that's basically what the deal is. So we have Mercury also opposing the north node on Thursday, conjunct the south node. So Wednesday and Thursday are definitely like these like bubbles where we got past life portal energy going on again, and this is big because it's 2 planets getting involved, not just one. And so here's the other thing that's happening. I really want to give you good news. I'm gonna dig a little deeper. Okay, I'm gonna dig a little deeper. I have bad news before I have good news. I'm sorry to say this. Be very, very careful on Friday and Saturday because of the same sort of problem or dynamic that's going on between the Sun and Mercury. The Sun and Mercury again are rolling, okay, like this together, like they're like la, 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 okay. They're both at the same time going to square Pluto. Friday, the peak of that, Mercury square Pluto comes at 8:51 p.m. Eastern time, and that's Friday, October 20th. And then on Saturday, October 21st, the Sun will square Pluto at 10:09 a.m. Eastern time. So basically, they're both square Pluto at the same time. I am not going to be surprised if there's more bombings and more news on the, Pluto is terrorism and nuclear activity and, I mean, school shootings and all kinds of stuff with Pluto. I'm sorry to say that because I know that's not fun. Be very careful yourselves. Like, that's not the day to say, I'm going to take a shortcut through the ghetto now, That's not the time to do that. It's not the time to be like, I'm just gonna play with a sawzall and run around with scissors in my hands. That's not the time to do that. That is not the time to, take chances and to do different things. It's not the time to have a meeting with your boss. It's not the time to vent to your partner. It's not the time to get into a big philosophical debate about politics, with your coworker. This is not the time to do any of that. And again, the peak of it is Friday or Saturday, but we're going to be feeling it Wednesday and Thursday, and we got all this past life stuff coming up. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be a bit rough. So I would say stay in the neutral lane, stay in the middle lane, stay in the passenger seat, whatever it is you got to do. Okay, definitely we want to not play. That's not the time to remove the hornet's nest from your attic, okay? You see what I'm saying? It's not the time, because people who are already struggling, I've said this all the time, it's like the 3-legged table. If you got the table's got 3 legs and it's already a little wobbly, if somebody's already struggling with mental health, if somebody's already struggling with addiction, if there's all this kind of stuff going on within the person, then it only takes one person to create chaos or to have chaotic thoughts or whatever. So it's something that we have to really be careful of. Rosalind, oh my gosh, I feel like I should be giving you stars, my dear. I want to give you a beautiful bell for your brother, okay? For his soul that just passed away. Rosalind gave me 100 stars, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so, and for sure, war areas and areas that are already being affected, this is not going to help any of that. So, I just like to give you guys heads up when there's these pockets of time. Think about it. Don't think about it just Friday, Saturday. Think about it as like really this, especially as we get into the end of the week, really it's going to heat up. And just, if you can work from home, work from home. If you can do whatever you got to do. I'm not saying you have to lock yourself up in a closet or whatever, but it's just a time to not engage with those types of activities and those types of things, because it's really rough. Oh, Ashley Jean. I forgot to bring my map again. I was going to show that. You're curious, what is the astrology over Israel? Are any planets crossing over there? Well, if you guessed Mars, the god of war, you would be correct. Mars right now is going over Israel, and actually Mars and Israel are actually going to be, Israel is in the middle of Mars and also Jupiter, which is making everything bigger. So these two are sandwiching Israel, basically. That's kind of what the deal is on the geodetic lines in the map. Ashley Ann wanted to know, is it the same for Sunday? I mean, you have to remember that these planets don't just stop and start, okay? There's better astrology on Sunday itself, but just remember these, like, the darkness, yes, they'll start to break apart, you know, and start to dissipate, and some of the steam will be let off on Sunday, but it's not over. It's not over. So we have to just make sure that we are a little bit more cautious and not diving into the deep end with some of these energies, because we don't want to, you know, kick the hornet's nest. We don't want to do that if we can avoid it at all possible. So the other thing that's happening on Saturday, and again, this is October 21st, is the second chance new moon. Now, that is going to be at 28 degrees Capricorn, and it's going to be coming to a peak or a height. The pinnacle, the top like piece of that, is going to be on 11:29 p.m. Eastern time, so earlier than that. Again, if you're Mountain Time or West Coast or in another country, you want to just adjust plus or minus from where you are. Now, 28 degrees Capricorn might sound familiar to you because Pluto's 28 degrees Capricorn. So this moon is going to be conjunct Pluto. The conjunction with Pluto is happening at 10:33 p.m. and then this second chance new moon is happening at 11:29 p.m. This is all intense. It's very, very intense. So where's Pluto in your astrological chart? Where's 28 degrees Pluto? That's going to be highlighting the United States Pluto return right here. Whew. I hope everything's okay with that, because we got this Mercury square Pluto, the Sun square Pluto, and then the Sun, the Moon conjunct Pluto on Saturday, and it's late Saturday night. So Ashley Ann said, "Is it gonna be fine on Sunday?" No. You're gonna see on the news all weekend, I think, that there's gonna be some violence. There's gonna be a problem here. So second chance new moon. You know, usually that's fine. Usually that's fun. Usually I'm like, yay, second chance new moon, it's amazing. But we have Pluto here. Pluto, again, is transformation, Phoenix rising. Something burns down before something rises up again. It's psychology. It's wanting to know the depths of something. It is also jealousy, possession, obsession. It's all these, like, kind of, it's anger. Pluto is quite intense. It's the most intense planet that there is, really. So, I mean, when you look at this is ugly, especially Friday and Saturday is the hotbed of it, but it could be, again, Wednesday, Thursday, and then getting even onto Sunday. There's some stuff. Now, there is some nice energy on Sunday, and I told you I saved some good news for the end, but this is like walking through hot coals right here. I mean, this is really red hot energy. And I will say Pluto is right off the coast, the west coast, the geodetic lines, so hopefully everything's going to be okay as far as that goes. But it's hot. This is red hot. And again, Capricorn. What's Capricorn? It's ruled by Saturn, which is government and structures and rules and regulations and all that kind of stuff. So we definitely have some stuff happening. Wendy said, what are your thoughts on the second chance new moon manifestation list? You could do it then, for sure. I mean, like, you might want to, everybody's like, maybe we should skip. What I would say to you is, anytime you write the list between the new moon and the full moon, it's going to be okay. It's going to have good energy. It's just that we're using these moon cycles to really push us, because that's a potent time and a powerful time. But this is almost too potent and too powerful. So I would say, if you want to pick a quieter day, today or tomorrow, write your list now. and then we can have it. We'll still have enough time before the 28th when the full moon comes that you can have it under your pillow before you burn or destroy it. So that's something that is there. Okay. Use your discretion, use what intuitively feels right for you. But I would say maybe just write it tonight or tomorrow because it's much more mild. You could wait for the second chance new moon. If you did, I would wait until after the peak of this at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. I would wait until after, so either like midnight or even the next day, that could work too. So the next day, what's happening? I told you there's going to be some good news. Well, I told you, remember how Mercury and the sun now, sorry, plant, I keep knocking my plant over here. Remember that Mercury and the sun are traveling together right now. So Sunday, Mercury moves into Scorpio. And Monday, the sun moves into Scorpio. So that we will officially start Scorpio season on Monday. I'm going to save that talk for that broadcast because there's a lot to go over in this week. And I want to make sure I'm getting to your questions and things like that. But so Mercury and the sun are both going to go into Scorpio at the same time. Mercury's going to go into the Scorpio on Sunday, the 22nd at 2:49 a.m. Eastern time. And then the sun starts Scorpio season at 12:21 p.m. on Monday, the 23rd. Eastern time. And so we're officially in Scorpio season at that point. And so remember that Mercury will be in Scorpio all the way up until November 10th. So from Sunday, the 22nd, October 22nd, all the way to November 10th, Mercury in Scorpio. And Mercury in Scorpio is interesting because that's secrets, and that's talking about deep things and deep topics and psychology and depth and all those things and the other world and the afterlife and ghouls and goblins and all that. That's what we get into when we get into Scorpio season, where Libra season is all about trying to better our relationships. But boy, see, remember when I told you that Libra is not always a fuzzy little bunny? Like, look at Libra season. We're trying to get along, right? People are not getting along. People are in strife. And sometimes the strife, the thing that is brought to us that we're supposed to work through is the very homework that we're supposed to be in. We're supposed to be squarely in the homework of the conflict and trying to resolve that peacefully. That's Libra, okay? But there has to be conflict in order to resolve it, right? So that's like the Libra scale. Sometimes the Libra's energy can work a little bit paradoxically like that. I always say a lot of modern day astrologers, they describe Libra as this like little, it's a little fuzzy bunny, like so cute. And really it's like the bunny from Monty Python, And we have to resolve that. We have to strive for the peace and strive for the balance, because it doesn't necessarily mean it's built in. A lot of times people forget that about astrology. We're talking archetypally that we're striving for those things, like Aries. A lot of people describe Aries as being completely fearless, and I see Aries all the time that are frightened, they're scared, and they're working through their fear. I mean, so if you think about it in that way, or Virgos who are unorganized and they're striving to be organized, and they're striving to have order, and they're striving to have perfection, that's very Virgo-esque. And so if you think about it, that's what the deal is. So if you have Scorpio in your chart, welcome to Scorpio season. It's your season and your time. Or where is Scorpio in your chart? Because we all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart. Now, the other bit of good news here on Sunday is Venus is going to form a trine to Jupiter, and then Mercury is going to form a trine to Saturn. Again, we have Mercury and the sun and everybody else kind of traveling together. On Tuesday, the sun will form a trine to Saturn. So on Sunday, Mercury forms a trine. And just so you know, Venus trine Jupiter, that's going to be at 12:32 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday, and that's on the 22nd. And then Mercury trine Saturn, that's going to be at 12:12 p.m. On that day. Now, what do these mean? So look, if I didn't just say that, the Lord of the Underworld, Pluto, was acting up, if we just had Venus trine Jupiter, I'd be like, yay, oh my God, this is great. Because usually that's one of the very best astrological things. Like Venus trine Saturn, I would be like, go play the lottery, okay? Get on a dating app, you know, like this is the time for love and magic. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And then we have Mercury trine Saturn, which is our goals and our dreams and our aspirations. So Sunday itself, if you look at it myopically, looks beautiful. I mean, it looks like you couldn't even get a better day on Sunday, except for we just had this whole poop storm that happened. It's like, oh my God, what just happened? You know, we get to Sunday and it's like, oh, this is, you know, okay, it's good. But I mean, we just had a lot thrown at us the days preceding that. So this is the turnaround time a little bit is Sunday. Sunday, we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. I told you we had some better news for you. That looks lovely. But we have to get through all of this first. And remember, I did say one of the planets that is bordering Israel is Mars and Jupiter. So Jupiter is involved here. But again, a trine with Venus is like one of the most positive. The only other one that's even more positive is a Sun trine Venus. So this is really positive. One of the most positive things. But it's just, we got this poop storm before that we're dealing with here. And yeah, that's just going to be ugly. It's ugly and it's dark and I can't even get around that. That's just really like a wall of ugliness. And then once we get over that, then it's like the daisies and roses are blooming. You know, what happened, you know? So I don't know. It's sort of interesting, but we're still entering Scorpio season, which by nature, Scorpio season is just a little bit more intense and a little bit you know, sort of darker, though I personally love Scorpio season because it's my 4th house of home and family. So that's like very cozy season for me. It depends on where Scorpio is in your chart. What house is it in order to know how that will affect you. Like Wendy said, 8th house. Well, that's Scorpio's house. That's right, Wendy, because you have Aries rising. I forgot. So yeah, so that's something that you'll feel that more intensely. 8th house. Yeah. You love Scorpio. Holly said yes. Yeah, so boy, this is a lot this week. And then I promise you the next really 2 weeks are a little bit better, a little lighter, a little easier. Not easy. Nothing's ever easy, but it's after this is going to feel like nothing's really going on. And then it's so funny because then I get people that call me and they're like, I'm bored. I'm like, really? For 2 minutes you're bored? Like, I'm just glad that there's nothing like kind of crazy happening. So yeah, so I hope that helps. And if anybody has any questions for me, now is the time to post those questions. I really appreciate all of the stars and everything that you guys did for me tonight. And also we have, like I said, we have Juno going into Virgo. That's another love factor. Another thing about precision. Then we have this past life portal, and then we get through the Pluto portal, and then finally we crawl our way into Sunday, you know, and it's like, oh, finally Sunday is better, you know. But boy, oh boy, it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. Oh my gosh. So I will say this very quickly, and I've talked about this a couple weeks ago, but it bears repeating in case you guys didn't hear me. Kyanite is wonderful stone for instantly grounding our chakras. And again, if anybody has any questions, just post below. Kyanite is a wonderful stone. This helps to ground energy, and any of the dark colored stones, the black stones, onyx and hematite and black tourmaline and all of the dark colored, you don't even have to know the name of it. If you have a dark stone laying around, put that in your pocket, in your bra, and your like wherever that you want. But that will help, okay, to ground ourselves, because it's a little bit much. It's a little bit much. Again, Pluto's at 27, 28 degrees, okay? Capricorn, it's at the very end of Capricorn, so it's intense. It's intense. Holly said sorry, Wendy, you said your card for your brother. Oh, your bro. Is he with you tonight? Is he sitting with you? I know sometimes he will be with you. That's interesting. Your bro needs to turn off the news, okay? I'm just saying, your bro is getting too much stimulation. I don't know if he's just got CNN on all day or Fox News or whatever he watches. I'm not here to say, but I'm just saying he needs to retreat right now, take a break. Keep it light. Like, instead of watching like a horror film because it's Halloween or whatever, watch something that's a comedy or something. It says block out distractions, spend quiet time alone so you can focus on your priorities. This is for your brother, retreat. So that card. Pay attention to his dreams. Okay, so he might have a deceased loved one or somebody, a spirit guide or an angel trying to download him while he sleeps, and he has to just spend some time nurturing himself. These are all very gentle cards too, like saying he needs to just be like a little bit more calm, quiet. I really get this feeling like I don't know if he's just like watching the news too much or listening too much or reading, like doom scrolling is what they call it nowadays, where they look through, the news clips or something, but it's just too much. He's angry with you. Yeah, but there's not just you. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not whatever, but I'm just saying that there's something else bigger bothering him. He's really I just feel like he's taking on the weight of the world on his shoulders. I think that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Phyllis. I hope you had a good time, Phyllis, in your journey. Yeah, information overload. Exactly. That's what I'm getting with him. That's exactly what I'm getting. Phyllis, I'll pull one card for you. What does Phyllis need to know? She just wants to have a card. What's the most important thing? Divine guidance, Phyllis. Okay, you didn't ask a question. You just said pull a card. The idea you are receiving is heaven sent answers to your prayers, Phyllis. So I hope that makes sense to you. Let's see. You're welcome, Wendy. I hope that helped, Wendy. Hope that helped, Phyllis. Ashley, you asked about a health outlook for extended family. I can't really do that on a broadcast. I can just pull a card for your family, Ashley. But I do feel like a lot of people are getting sick, so it's kind of, yeah. So let me just do a quick card for you. Ashley, there's a lot of cards trying to come out here. Ashley, you're so cute. Ashley Ann. Share your art with the world. You see they're painting. And happy news about your art. Okay, that's good. I just kind of feel like as if your family is going to be going through some crud as far as like they might have like rundown flu, RSV, cold, something. I do feel like a crud feeling. I'm calling it crud. I don't know what that is. I just get like a headachy feeling when I dip into the energy, but yeah. Lori, sounds like good advice for everyone. You can embrace that too. Yes. All right. Oh, Rosalind. Yes. I can't do a reading for your brother, Rosalind, because he is just too soon. But Rosalind, I'll pull a quick card for you, and I'm getting drawn to this other deck for you. And I'm so sorry, Rosalind, for your loss. But it is a loss, but they are with us. Okay, when we have somebody that crosses over, animal, person, they're on the other side. They're still with us. There's no losing. But it feels that way. Trust me, I know. For Rosalind, what does she need to know that will help her in the highest, truest, best? It's saying to take good care of yourself. You're getting the healthful card, which means this Archangel Raphael card, which means you need to eat more, sleep enough, go do yoga, whatever it is. There's a lot of health. You might have been focused on his health and his well-being, and now you need to focus on your health and your well-being because you've been doing a lot. You're getting the card of activist, which is Saint Teresa. Mother Teresa. Activist card means that you might have been being an activator and all that. Oh, he's your guardian. He's your archangel, Rosalind, Saint Raphael, Archangel Raphael. Yeah, that's amazing. But he's here to remind you to take good care of your own health, because you've been doing a lot of nice things for other people. This activism chart card means that you do that. And so it's okay. I always say this phrase in my sessions, but it's okay to be a little spiritually selfish right now. Okay? It's okay to be spiritually selfish a little bit and take good care of yourself. Okay? Because that's what he would have wanted. Yeah. All right. So I am going to pull a card for the week. What do we need to know about this week? It's kind of a lot. What do we need to know? One card for this week. What do we need to know? What are the angels, the saints, the spirit guides, the guardians, all of our helpers on the other side, divine helpers from white light? What do we need to know? Because I do feel it's like it's going to be a lot. This card was coming out. Okay, we do have a lot of blessings, and we need to focus on that. Okay, she's holding a cornucopia or some kind of abundance in her hand there. Blessings of abundance. This is a card from our guardian angels. I'm going to pull another card as well. But, you know, sometimes when it's a lot of negative news, it's good to focus on, okay, I have food on the table. My family is safe. Or I have, you know, something that you can focus on that's positive, to focus on your blessings and focus on your abundance, and not just on the loss or on you know, what's going wrong in the world, because there is a lot going on. Okay, what else do we need to know to navigate these energies really well? Spirit guides. Okay, good. Allow ourselves to receive too. Allow ourselves to receive. Okay, I'm going to read you the message on this card, because it's a lot of people struggle with this on some level, and I will just read it. Open your arms to welcome the blessings and answer prayers that God is sending you. God, universe, whatever you want to say. I will say this, a lot of people have scarcity in their model of how they either see love, or how they see money, or how they see whatever, friends or whatever. A lot of people have scarcity. So Pluto can be scarcity too. I mean, if you think about Pluto can be scarcity. So it's like those demons that come up inside that says, you're not good enough. You know, you can't, who do you think you are? You know, and so we have to remember that we are blessed, okay, divine children of the universe, and that we are able to receive, and that we are worthy of receiving. So that is something that's very important. Hope that helps everybody. So thank you so much for staying tuned, watching, for all the stars in the broadcast. I love each and every one of you. You sent me stars, and also the people that hang out with me on Monday nights and listen, or even the pre-recorded broadcast, the replay afterwards. I love that. If you guys want a personalized astrological session, make sure to send me a direct message, a DM, or you can send me a text message, and that would be a good way to get in touch with me. And yeah, so I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And make sure that you go through with love and light in your heart. That helps to keep the darkness away, okay? Have love and light in your heart. All right, everybody. Take care. Namaste, and have a good week.